Mr President, this morning the government announced that they have struck a deal with One Nation and the Honourable Connie Benares to support the university merger. One Nation's education policy in inverted commas, states One Nation will restore critical thinking in the classroom and reinstate the cornerstone of education with reading, writing, arithmetic and discipline. There should be no room for Western white gender guilt-shaming in any classroom, and instead students should be taught the benefit of free-thinking, merit-based society. In 2020, Pauline Hanson of the One Nation Party did a deal with the then Morrison government on the Higher Education Support Act of 2003 that included a freedom of speech clause for academics. It was reported in the Sydney Morning Herald at the time that the One Nation amendment would make it harder for universities to discipline racist or sexist academics. A submission from 7 institutions, including La Trobe University, Western Sydney University and James Cook University, opposed the changes and stated that it would seem that a university academic would be within her or his rights to publicly declare they hold a racist, sexually or gendered prejudice against one or more of the students they are teaching. My question to the Attorney-General, therefore, is, can the government clarify whether the One Nation education policy was considered as part of its negotiations with One Nation with regards to the university merger, and will the government rule out inclusion of a One Nation freedom of speech clause similar to that the party proposed at a federal level in any state university act?
Call the Attorney-General.
Thank you, sir, and I thank the honourable member for his question. And he certainly has been a well-known advocate on how he sees on his views for what he sees as best for the education sector in South Australia. And I think most of us have a similar aim in looking at what is best for education and higher education in South Australia. Obviously, I'm not across. Haven't been involved in discussions in relation to this area. I did see media reports this morning to the effect that people who have been reported as supporting the proposal to create one university out of what is now the Universities of Adelaide and South Australia have considered the proposals on their merits and what's best for South Australia, particularly those like the honourable member who have had the benefit of a great deal of information and evidence through what I understand has been a pretty thorough committee process looking at this. However, if there's any, I'm happy to refer the question on to the, I think the Minister for Higher Education in the other place and see if there's anything that she wishes to add to that.